Welcome back to Superbly Said Advanced English Vocabulary and Phrases.
It is great to be back.
Yeah, and before we really get into the thick of it today, I just want to quickly let you know that today's material is actually pulled directly from a SpeakDuo lesson.
Right, which is an amazing resource.
It really is. So you can go to SpeakDuo.com to meet new people from around the world, who are practicing English on video calls.
Yeah, it's the best way to become more confident with your speaking abilities.
Exactly. So today's deep dive is specifically tailored for you, the advanced English learner. We are skipping the basics.
Right, we are jumping straight into the idioms. Today is all about mastering those nuanced differences of advanced phrases.
Because, you want to sound completely natural in high-level environments, right?
Exactly, it's about that precision.
So let's look at phrases used when initiating projects or maybe assessing a new situation. The first one is build from scratch.
Oh, that is a great one. So to build from scratch basically means to create something completely from the very beginning.
Like using raw materials.
Yeah, exactly. But the nuance here is really important. A lot of people compare it to the phrase start from square one.
Right, which sounds really similar.
It does, but start from square one implies that you failed. Like your plan collapsed and you are forced to restart.
Oh, I see. With a heavy sigh, basically.
Exactly. But to build from scratch implies a deliberate choice. You are intentionally building entirely new from raw materials.
That makes a lot of sense. It immediately makes me think of baking,
Oh, that's a perfect analogy.
Right. Because if you bake a cake using a boxed mix, that's a shortcut. But if you use raw ingredients like flour, sugar, eggs you build from scratch.
Yeah, you own the whole process.
Actually, a friend in tech used this perfectly at work. They were faced with this legacy software that was completely incompatible with modern security standards.
Oh, a nightmare scenario.
Total nightmare. So the development team decided to build the entire back-end architecture from scratch.
See, that is exactly it. They didn't just fail, they made a strategic choice to start fresh.
Right, but you never really enter a situation with a completely blank slate, do you?
No, definitely not. We all have our biases.
Which brings us to phrase number 2, preconceived notions.
Wow, so a preconceived notion is an opinion formed before you actually have adequate evidence or experience.
You just kind of make up your mind before looking at the facts.
Pretty much.
Okay.
But wait, let's compare this to stereotypes, because they get mixed up a lot.
Oh, I can see that. But are preconceived notions ever a good thing? Like maybe protective instinct?
Well, in conversational English, the phrase almost always carries a negative connotation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it implies being closed-minded. And the nuance between this and a stereotype is that a stereotype is often a societal prejudice.
Like a broad cultural assumption.
Exactly. But a preconceived notion is usually a personal, internal expectation about a specific situation.
Okay, I get it. Think about how useful this is for like an IELTS Part 2 response.
Oh, absolutely.
You could say, entering the rural community with strong preconceived notions about its economic stagnation, she was surprised by its vibrant tech sector.
That is a fantastic example. She assumed it was struggling, but the reality changed her mind.
Right, so once you drop those notions, you need to find a way to connect all your new observations.
Which brings us to our third phrase, a through line.
A through line. I hear this a lot in storytelling.
Yes, it is a connecting theme running consistently through events or work.
But how is that different from just a summary?
Good question. A summary just condenses the whole story. It tells you what happened.
Right.
But a through line is the specific thread that connects disparate parts together. It's the why behind the events.
Oh, I love that. It's essential for good storytelling.
Definitely. Do you have an IELTS-style example for this one?
I do, actually. So imagine discussing a complex book. Despite taking place across multiple centuries and different continents, the novel maintained a clear through line exploring the human cost of ambition.
That is brilliant. The setting changes, but the through line connects everything.
Okay, so we have our foundation, but what happens when we face resistance?
Now we have to assert control.
Right, and phrase number 4 is all about that intense energy. It's guns blazing.
Yes. To go in guns blazing means approaching a situation with immense energy or forceful determination.
I just picture an action movie hero kicking down a door.
That is the exact vibe. But learners often confuse this with hitting the ground running.
Oh, interesting. They do sound kind of similar.
They do, but hitting the ground running just means being immediately productive, like on your first day of work.
Just getting things done smoothly.
Exactly. But guns blazing implies an aggressive, high-energy readiness to fight for your ideas or confront a challenge.
Oh, I see. Like talking to a boss who doesn't agree with you.
Exactly.
Like, instead of approaching the difficult board meeting timidly, she walked in guns blazing, ready with counter-arguments and hard data.
Perfect. She was ready for a fight, and she brought the data to win it.
But sometimes you aren't the one pushing an idea. Sometimes you have to stop someone else.
Right. Which brings us to phrase 5, put my foot down.
Which is so hard for people pleasers to do.
It really is. It means to use authority to firmly stop something or refuse to compromise.
How does that differ from drawing a line?
Well, drawing a line sets a boundary for the future. Don't cross this again.
Right.
But putting your foot down is an active, immediate intervention to stop ongoing bad behavior right now.
Oh, I see. So for a workplace example, you might say, tired of the team constantly missing internal milestones due to poor discipline, the manager finally put his foot down and enforced strict daily stand-ups.
Yes, the manager stopped the bad behavior in its tracks.
But asserting that much control can have consequences, right?
Oh, definitely. Sometimes negative personal ones.
Which leads us to phrase 6, to my detriment.
To do something to your detriment means causing harm, damage, or a disadvantage to yourself.
Is that just a fancy way of saying I made a mistake?
Not quite. A mistake is just an error. But doing something to your detriment means the action itself directly caused you personal harm.
Even if you meant well.
Even if you meant well, like working too hard to help others.
No, the irony. Being a hard worker can actually hurt you.
Yeah, burnout is a classic example of this.
Like, by working 80-hour weeks and skipping meals to meet the client's demands, he eventually sacrificed his health to his own detriment.
Exactly. He didn't make a simple error. His deliberate actions caused him harm.
Well, let's pivot to a positive consequence for our last phrase. Number 7 is fill the coffers.
Yes. This means to accumulate significant funds or financial reserves.
I just love the imagery. It sounds like pirate treasure chests.
It does, and that visual, historical feel is the nuance here.
As opposed to just making a profit.
Exactly. Making a profit is purely a business accounting term.
Just numbers on a spreadsheet.
Right. But filling the coffers sounds like stockpiling resources for future security.
It sounds so triumphant, like thanks to a successful global marketing campaign and record holiday sales, the company managed to fill its financial coffers significantly.
Spot on. They built a massive reserve of wealth.
All right, we covered all 7. Now it is time for the rapid-fire quiz to test you on these phrases.
Let's see if the listeners can spot the nuances.
Now, feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about the answer. I will announce options A, B, and C clearly, and I will repeat the target phrase so you know what we are defining. Ready?
Let's do it.
Question 1. Which sentence uses the idiomatic phrase, to my detriment, correctly based on context? Again, looking for to my detriment. Option A. The professional construction site structural engineering damage inspector was instructed to check the detriment during the building's stress test. Option B. The deeply frustrated young retail clerk aggressively managed to completely drop a white line. Option C. By working 80-hour weeks and skipping meals to meet the client's demands, he eventually sacrificed his health to his own detriment.
The answer is C. Remember the example we just talked about. Sacrificing health for work is doing something to your detriment.
Exactly. Okay, question 2. Select the context where the phrase, put my foot down, is most appropriately used figuratively. Looking for, put my foot down. Option A. Tired of the team constantly missing internal milestones due to poor discipline, the manager finally put his foot down and enforced strict daily stand-ups. Option B. The professional podiatry and lower limb surgical specialist was instructed to put my foot down during the skeletal alignment exam. Option C. The incredibly clumsy warehouse inventory clerk accidentally managed to quickly buy some large systems.
That one is A. We discussed the manager enforcing stand-ups. Putting your foot down means actively intervening to stop bad behavior.
Perfect. On to question 3. In which situation does someone accurately utilize the advanced phrase, a through line, contextually? Listening for a through line. Option A. The professional electrical wiring circuit installation technician was instructed to trace a through line during the control panel assembly. Option B. Despite taking place across multiple centuries and different continents, the novel maintained a clear through line exploring the human cost of ambition. Option C. The completely terrified young wilderness traveler unexpectedly noticed an exceptionally massive, heavy tool chest.
The answer is B. Just like our example of the novel exploring a central theme, a through line connects disparate parts of a story.
Awesome. Here's question 4. Which response best demonstrates the advanced phrase, guns blazing, figuratively? Keep your ears open for guns blazing. Option A. Instead of approaching the difficult board meeting timidly, she walked in guns blazing, ready with counterarguments and hard data. Option B. The professional military tactics firearms marksmanship instructor was instructed to enter the combat range with guns blazing. Option C. The incredible clumsy warehouse inventory clerk accidentally managed to quickly catch that white balance.
It's definitely option A. Approaching a board meeting with energy and data is the figurative meaning. It's about aggressive readiness.
Right, no literal firearms involved. Okay, question 5. How would a professional accurately use the phrase preconceived notions contextually? Looking for preconceived notions. Option A. The professional cognitive psychology clinical researcher was instructed to check preconceived notions during the perception study. Option B. The completely confused amateur theater group unexpectedly decided to proudly paint a clean frame. Option C. Entering the rural community with strong preconceived notions about its economic stagnation, she was surprised by its vibrant tech sector.
The answer is C. We talked about changing opinions regarding a rural town. Preconceived notions are internal expectations formed without real evidence.
Great explanation. Okay, question 6. Which scenario perfectly illustrates the meaning of the phrase build from scratch, contextually? Listening for build from scratch. Option A. The professional culinary kitchen baking pastry chef was instructed to bake a cake from scratch during the competition. Option B. Faced with legacy software that was completely incompatible with modern security standards, the development team decided to build the entire back-end architecture from scratch. Option C. The incredibly clumsy hotel maintenance worker accidentally managed to completely drop that red tray.
The correct answer is B. Now, while option A does use the phrase in a literal baking sense, option B represents the figurative professional IT context we discussed, creating a software back-end entirely new.
Exactly, a deliberate choice. Last one, question 7. Which sentence accurately utilizes the advanced phrase, fill the coffers contextually? Looking for fill the coffers. Option A. Thanks to a successful global marketing campaign and record holiday sales, the company managed to fill its financial coffers significantly. Option B. The professional woodworking carpentry furniture maker was instructed to fill the coffers during the chest assembly shift. Option C. The deeply confused young kitchen assistant accidentally managed to quickly slice a fresh piece of comb.
And the final answer is A. The global marketing campaign boosted their reserves. Filling the coffers is all about stockpiling resources.
Fantastic job if you got those right. You know, we want to leave you with a final thought to mull over today.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
Yeah, so think about your own personal communication style.
Right. How do you handle challenges?
Do you tend to naturally walk into situations, guns blazing, ready to aggressively fight for your ideas?
Or are you more likely to sit back and observe, to avoid acting to your own detriment?
It is definitely something to think about. Until next time.